Hello and welcome to NDTV Profit. Joining us today is Mr. Rakesh Sharma. He's the Executive Director of Bajaj Auto. He's speaking with us after the launch of the biggest Pulsar yet, the Pulsar NS400Z, to talk to us more about the motorcycle and the segment that it operates in. Sir, welcome to NDTV Profit.
Thank you very much.
So, why a Pulsar 400 now? You already have a Dominar 400, you have a KTM 390 Duke, as well as a Speed 400. So, what was the rationale behind launching a Pulsar 400 at this point of time?
Yeah. Foremost, ever since NS series was launched in Pulsar and met with a lot of success, particularly amongst people who wanted high performance motorcycling, there has been a big requirement from the fans of when are you getting a bigger Pulsar. Actually, even though we did not release the information about it being a 400, the market and the customers had already guessed it, that there is going to be an NS400Z. So that was the foremost thing. Second is that we felt that there is a need and there is an open space right now over here for high performance street biking, to bring high performance to everyday use. If you see, the Dominar 400 is more of a sports tourer. It is for longer rides. It's got a longer wheelbase. It's heavier. It's got. It has been positioned for people who would be using it in the city, but really would be wanting to take trips, weekend trips, longer trips. The KTM brand is more edge of the seat, very high level of thrill, takes expertise to manage a Duke 390 or a RC 390 kind of a thing. With the Pulsar NS400Z, and its price of 1,85,000, we bring high performance, everyday biking, street biking within the grasp of a wider audience.
So essentially, affordable power to the masses is that was the theme of the Pulsar so far. What are expectations from this Pulsar 400? We've seen a pretty great reception from the audience today. What are your expectations from this particular motorcycles in terms of the sales in India, its exports, and where are you making in how many numbers this particular motorcycles are?
So, we don't have a volumetric and precise expectation. The first thing which has driven us to do this is to be faithful and true to the Pulsar brand value of always trying to do something better and constantly, widening the envelope. If you see, for the last 24 years, there are a lot of firsts which are to the credit of Pulsar, whether it is even something like a simple disc brake, which has become very, very usual. But when it was launched, it was the first from Pulsar. Starting from there, and triple spark, 4 valves, and all those things. There are many, many oil cooling, projector headlamps, and tubeless tires, even stuff like that. So the first thing is that we wanted to continue to demonstrate to so many of our users and fans that there is a constant thrusting forward in the brand, and there is a vitality when you introduce something like that. So it is, and then the second point is that when we compare the penetration of high-end biking in India with other countries, even for example, I take Nepal, the presence of performance biking in Nepal is, as a percentage of the total motorcycle industry, is far greater. And if you compare it with Latin American countries with similar purchasing power, you will see that there is a lot of higher level of use of these class of bikes. And we feel that by making high performance biking at this pricing available to a wider audience, hopefully the category will also develop, and it will give us the encouragement and the reason to then continue to place more products. And I would say this would also still be applicable in many countries of LATAM and Europe, etc. And of course, then finally it adds to the share and to the volumes also.
Okay. Uh, Extending the conversation to the Pulsar brand itself, how much does the Pulsar brand contribute towards Bajaj Auto's revenue and sales as of FY24? If you can tell us something more about that.
So, because we have tended to focus on the upper half, which is where of the demand pyramid in India, and I would say about 75% of our business volume terms comes from the Pulsar brand, and a lot more on the bottom line side. We don't get into brand-wise profitability, but I can tell you the volume itself is 75%. So you can see that it is really, really the heart of the company.
Now let's talk about the category. How large is the middleweight opportunity, this 400cc plus segment or 400cc segment? We know we have well-entrenched players in the market. Most of them are, say, retro. You're playing in the sports segment. So what is the market opportunity for you for these kind of motorcycles?
So I would say I would take it, let's say 300 to 500 cc range. Not only 350 cc or whatever. So, but in that range, today, approximately 100,000 bikes get sold per month, out of which about 70%, which is 70,000, are what you said retro, or let me say classic styling, which is more about styling and very easy riding, and 30%, which is about 30,000, 32,000 units per month, are about performance biking. If I look at these two sub-segments, then the performance biking segment over the last 5 years has been growing at a CAGR of 15% per annum, and the classic segment is growing at 2% or 3%. So even though the size of the performance biking in this middleweight category, as you called it, is right now 30%, but I think it will continue to grow, shared by as more and more customers, youthful, India, the demographics is on the side of people wanting performance and the thrill. So that certainly is something which, that is the way, yeah.
Final two questions. In the press conference, we actually saw you talked about the dual pronged strategy for Bajaj. Can you just talk to us a little bit more about that particular strategy?
Well, it's nothing really more than the fact that there is that the dual prong strategy allows us to aim for the bottom half of the pyramid, which is largely driven by the mileage conscious customer, and the upper half. And as you go up and up in the upper half, it's more about performance biking. So what is being said is that to be successful in the motorcycle business, you will have to take a binocular approach of being able to engage with the customer through products and brands which make sense to a mileage conscious customer, and with products and brands which make sense to a customer who's in the very high performance end as well.
So how does electric mobility fit in that particular strategy?
Well, electric mobility at this point of time, I would still say is very, in at least two-wheelers, is very functionally and is very economic driven. There is a element of, there is a segment of people who like its convenience and who like its, the fact that it is environment friendly. But I would say it is dominated by people who are adopting electric to save their monthly fuel bill, right? And so I would put it in that segment. And it's easiest for the scooter user because the driving patterns are known, the distances are short, and multiple use is there within a family. So we see the phenomena of electric scooters cannibalizing ICE scooters. And of course, they're drawing some customers also from mileage conscious motorcycle customers, but largely from the scooter segment.
Finally, the last question, what can we expect from Bajaj Auto in FY25? You have already had a record-setting year in FY24. In terms of sales, will your numbers will still be industry-beating like it was there? It was in FY24?
I hope so.
Okay.
That is what our aspiration is, to deliver a better FY25 than FY24, which, like you said, it was a record-breaking year. And we want to better that. And we want to continue to outpace the industry.
All right. Thank you so much, sir, for speaking with us.
Thank you.
Thank you, viewers, for tuning in. This is Tushar for NTV Profit.